Gemara Masechta Sanhedrin that speaks about the signs, what will happen before Moshiach comes. So the Gemara says, there's a pasuk, it's in Sanhedrin Daf Tzadik Zayin Amud Aleph. The pasuk says that in the end of Pashas Ha'azinu, it says, Ki yodin Hashem Amoy, Hashem will judge his people, have Rachmanas on his people. Ki yira ki ozla siyod. He will see that ozla siyod could have a number of meanings, but ozla siyod means that the hand is gone. There's no hand. Ve'efes otzur va'azav. There's no one that is, otzur va'azav, that's being helped. It's basically things aren't going so great. So the Eibusher has to bring Moshiach. So the Gemara brings a number of interpretations what this pasuk means. One of the interpretations says that Ein ben David ba ad shetichla pruta min hakis. It says that Ben David, Moshiach is referred to sometimes as son of David. Ben David won't come ad shetichla pruta min hakis, until coins will be empty. There won't be any coins left in people's purses. Only credit cards. Very good. Rashi says, "V'hainu ozla siyod sheyu b'dayim l'kohen." Ozla siyod means that the hand is gone, that they are going empty-handed. There's another on the other side, on that Tzadik Ches Amud Aleph. There's also a Rashi. The Gemara says over there that it brings a pasuk lifnei hayamim ha'im scharadam le'niyos scharabheim le'nena v'l'yetzi le'vala v'alvayim shalom, that is the payment of people isn't there, the payment of animals isn't there. So it's another siman what will happen before Mashiach comes. So Rashi says when you'll see that no one is making money, and also animals, those days what they have, what you call today rent a car. People used to rent cows, camels, donkeys. So there's no schar for behema. So v'hainu ki da'amre nehmt ashatich leprutim min hakis ein mois mitzuyis bekis. This is like what we say earlier, that the Moshiach won't come until there won't be any money left in the pockets. This Maimer Chazal is brought down not only here in Masechta Sanhedrin, is brought down in Tikunei Zohar. It's also brought down in a few places. In Zohar Chodesh, I mean. And there's a lot of discussion, a lot of interesting discussion. It's a very interesting Maimer Chazal. What exactly does it mean? What is the significance of this, and so on and so forth. So, in simple reading, the way it sounds is that before Mashiach comes, there will be very big poverty. And there's a number of places, particularly in the Zohar, a number of places, we heard the term Chavli Mashiach, the birth pains of Mashiach. Really different explanations of what exactly these Chavli Mashiach are. But in the Zohar, it writes that the anius, the poverty of the Jewish people, that's the Chavli Mashiach, before Mashiach comes. We'll get to that in a moment. Good. Absolutely. So, literally, so what is So what does it mean in Pshat? The pasuk says, Kira kiyaz la'asiyah, the Eibusher will see that no hand is able to, take care of itself. There's nothing in the hand, so bring Mashiach. What's the connection? So Pshat, it seems, from a number of sources, when things are really dire, and it reaches the bottom of the barrel, as they say, so Kvayoch Aleim Breira, the Eibusher has no choice. He has to bring Mashiach. Let's go to simple Pshat. On a deeper, that there's the Tzemach Tzedek has in a Maimer, he says that when also when it's a word in Pshat or Chassidus pasuk, he explains Ner Mitzvah V'Torah Derech Chaim Techechos Musar. Maimer on Chanukah, I think. He says when a person in order for a person to transform his ratzon, that he should be oiker his ratzon, should uproot his will from olam hazeh, from physical things. So when things aren't going well, so as long as things are going well in Gashmius, it's hard for him to be oiker his ratzon, to take away his ratzon for Gashmius. But anyway, things are tough, so then it's moited in a person a certain part within his soul that he's uproots his desire from Gashmius, and all he wants is the Eibishter. Anyway, he's shaken up as is, things are unstable. Forget exactly the lotion that he uses, but the nekuda is that he brings this ma'am chazal, that when things aren't good, begashmis, so memeli able to be oiker yerotzen. In other words, when you're going through such a thing, so all you want is you want Eibusher. Anyway, begashmis, you're in the dump. So your yerotzen is uprooted, and all you want is alakos. So mele that brings Moshiach. There are a number of other pirushim over here. If they fit in pshat with the Gemara, you could sit and think about it later on tonight. But there's another interesting pshatim over here. First of all, there's another, but the starting off with this start. He's not the only one that says this, but you have the Agoy Sarashash over here in the back that ever brings him down with sometimes Taka. So he asks a question. He says, we see today plenty of you didn't have money, so Moshiach can't come. Because you have to wait until every single person has no money in his pockets. So he gives an interesting twist. He says, Punkt Fakat. It says it could mean mamish the other way around. It says, today, years ago, prutis, I don't know how much is a pruta today. I don't know even a nickel today, but let's say a dime or a quarter. Years ago, a dime and a quarter was change. Today, it's nothing. A pruta, small change. Today, hundreds, 20, thousands. Asha tichla pruta min akis.
Today is $24, $25.
I'm talking about a shava pruta of halach. Let's say when it comes to matanas of yoinim on purim. Kedushin reisach. You probably have to have a certain amount of silver, mitas. Then my bosh shava pruta halach legabi the halachas. If you stole the shava pruta, less than the shava pruta, all these. Think about the minimal amount of shabbos of something that has worth in halacha today. So years ago you would say a penny. But today a penny isn't worth more than a penny. Say a nickel, maybe even a nickel today with inflation is not worth anything. It has to be a dime. But nevertheless, he says a kiss, a pocket, a purse. He Dashins refers to a kiss shalt stock. It refers to the communal, whatever, the pushkas, I'll call it. They used to have in those days the kiss, the purses that they used to collect money for. So he says that years ago a person would give tzedakah, giving 10 chreisa pruta was a mitzvah, so it was something worthwhile. Today, he says, before Mashiach comes, people will be have their understanding of what money is will reach greater heights that the small change won't find any place in the.
Won't be no pruta is going to be no higher money than that.
Only higher, yeah. There's a word also, the Ben Ish Chai said a similar word, Ashatichla Pruta. Pruta won't be dinarim,
coins. They're trying to give you only bills.
That's another pshat.
They're trying to be masbid to Ellis in the.
Trying to be masbid Lamal Yusa in a positive way.
No, but even whatever, both sides. The Mal Yusa and the Yusa. But they're trying to be masbid what the tachlis of.
So according to that, biur, that it's. If you learn in pshat that they're poor, you understand what the tachlis is. Tachlis is that it's.
Who says it's a tachlis?
And it's a tachlis, but I'm saying
it's a time telling you when it's going to happen.
Good. So I'm saying, if you're going to say that, it means there won't be any money, there won't be a cent in your pocket, and so I told you, Tzemach Tzedek gives them the beer how that brings Mashiach. It's not just the time. You want to know Mashiach is coming, you should know when you see 3 stars to the east fighting with 5 stars to the west. When I'm just hacking chat, I'm saying a dugma, then you know Mashiach. I'm not just telling you what time. Tzemach Tzedek, he gives a beer, he gives a pshat that actually.
Because the Rebbe spoke about the Rebbe, remember there's a sikh of the Rebbe crying, Shana Rabbah, and the Rebbe says over there the email, the Rebbe's crying, he can't say the words. But listen to the words that the Rebbe's saying over there, the Rebbe's saying like this. that the Eibishter did it in a way. The Eibishter needs it. It has to be this way. The Yidden have to suffer. That's the only way possible. We can bring about Moshiach should come. Can't do it a different way. And the Rebbe said that the Eibishter did it in a way. Does it in a way. There should be no hasbara in seichel. Because if there is hasbara in seichel, then they say, don't wait till Moshiach comes. Moshiach can't come because this wasn't fulfilled. So the Rebbe said, no. There is no hasbara, and the Yid gets broken. Eibishter, Eibazei, and that's what Eibishter wants. Scream to me that there's no tachlis over this. So all the other hasbaras is not to. It's shemdil the Allah hasbaras.
Good. You're talking about in Golos that there's no hasbara the mile of Golos. But I'm saying the word that if. In other words, does that tichla pruta minakis? Hagufel. I'm sagen. Also, the sicher sein have Tavshim im down. When the Yid schreit to the Eibishter, that nicht kein Tachlis, das bringt Moshiach in andere Werte. Right? So in other words, when it reaches a point, so that has to reach a point as a macht a Yidin ein, Golos macht a Yidin ein. So in other words,
but you don't give them that Tachlis in them ein.
Who says is it? In other words, you're trying to say, is there any advantage in the suffering? Not talking about if there's advantage in the suffering. We're talking about the advantage of the suffering that leads to that leads you to bring Mashiach. Again, I'm not trying to say again. There's many other prushim. I'm just saying. And getting back to this. So he says, or another pshat the Ben Ish Chai says in the name of his son. He says that then there won't be any prutis. Any prutis is coins. There won't be prutis. There will be dollar bills. In times of the Gemara, shtaris, the money was its value. The coin, a dinar, a selach, a more, for a certain amount of silver and gold, that was the value. To have a paper bill, a piece of paper which says $1, 100, or 20, that's worth $100. That was a joke in those days. So he says, there won't be any prutas. There won't be any hard change. All there will be is bills. Today you have, furthermore, you mentioned this credit cards, a piece of plastic. That's the ganze Reichtum.
Try to give a schnorr a quarter.
Yeah, you won't take it. You have to swipe today. Today you have to swipe. Today a regular guy comes with a swipe machine. If not, he's not going to make any money.
How much do I want to get paid? Do I want to get paid this brutus, or do I want to get...
Good. There's another interesting, I don't know if you could build on it, but I saw one of the svarim that they had in Teiman, one of it, my Dechachmei Teiman, he brings b'shei Maimer Chazal. He's probably referring to our Gemara, but he brings a lashon which again I don't know if it's been duyuk, but he writes lashon Ein ben David ba'at shati posel hamatbeya. He brings out that Mashiach won't come until coins are of no value, which could mean for a number of reasons.
No value, or the face of it uses it's
What
uses that word?
I don't know. I assumed it means. Moshe, you have in Rambam, he has a matbei shepsaltei hamalchus. You have, let's say, they say the dollar's in the air, it's going to shver. I don't know. Say that the matbei is one.
Who didn't look at this matbei?
You have Allah. Somebody sells money. You had in the Rambam, and I forget exactly. But anyway, fine. So the thing with all these pshetlach, you'll see the only shaila is, which is why I mentioned you can think about it when you come home, how that fits with the Gemara Ki Azla Siyad. It's learned from a pasuk. Ki Azla Siyad, you're gonna have to touch means there's nothing in the hand. There's no coins in the hand. But what exactly does it mean if you're gonna say that everybody will be so rich that prutis won't be worthwhile? So what's touch Ki Azla Siyad? Good. Yesh la'ayim b'zeh. Now, there's this is another Geschmack Pshat. I mean, the Ben Ish Chai brings this. This is already in earlier sources. It's put on a number of Svarim. Tovus Yaakov Yosef also brings this. He says, Acha tichla pruta min akis. He says, Tzerem is that all the nitzoitzes were nizbarer. All the sparks of holiness were refined. It says, Pruta is split into two. Peret, tough, which is the value of Reish Peitas. You know, there's 288 nitzoitzes, Reish Peitas. Reish Peites is 289, is a 288 plus 1, ima koela, with the word itself. So you have in Kabbalah different psukim, titain teref leveisa, teref means to devour, which is a hint on the Kedusha which devours the 288 nitzoitzes out of Klippa. And Vav K, that Pruta is Peret Vav K. Vav K is also connected with the Birur HaNitzoitzes. So Kis is the purse, what covers. Kis is also the tik that covers. Says that all the nitzoitzes will be taken out of their cover. There won't be any more coins or nitzotzes, sparks of holiness left in the purse, means that it's covered up, they'll all be refined. So Moshiach will come. That's a pshat al pi Chassidus, al pi Kabbalah. There's another pshat which the Yismach Moshe brings in the Sefer. Doesn't write the name, but his grandson brings in the name of the Chayza, I believe, who said b'shem himself, some b'shem Eliyahu Hanavi, that Eliyahu Hanavi was in the Skala, I forget to who, to the Chayza, to someone else, and told him that Hashatichla Pruta Minakitz gave a very interesting pshat. He says Pruta comes from the word prat, individuals. So he says Mashiach will come when every Jew is concerned about every other Jew. As long as in a kiss, he said the purse, the Gemara that says that the heart is in like a purse, like a cover. He says Pruta Minakis means that as long as that there won't be in a person's heart, he won't focus anymore on his individual self. He'll be worried about Klal Yisrael. So he won't be only focused on his personal problems, his personal pocket, his personal advancement, whatever it is. So he said it's a very geschmack of word. Again, how it fits with the pasuk, and Eliyahu Navi said it, and Mishnah is talking about how it fits the pasuk, tells us, you have to figure out. It gives a very interesting sense that this is the deeper meaning of Shtichla Prut Merkis. Something here negay. If you have them, you don't have them. Might not hear it's a word that in the Yid's heart, he's going to be in the Sachet, will become one with other Yidden. Okay, good. There is another Chidush Yerim says of art. He says Achatichla Pruta Minakis. He gives more al derech haremez in the way of a hint. He says until money, prutas, coins, prutas are like the smallest coins from a purse. Says what does it mean? He says it's a hint. Coins belong in a purse. What happens if they're not in the purse? They're in the wrong place. So he says it means that before Mashiach will come, he says the money won't be in the right place. The money will be in the hands of people that are not going to do with it what they need to do with it. Either they won't get stuck with it, the crazy shows. But he says the money won't be in the right place. That's what it means that Sheticha Pruta Minakis. That's why I think you have in a touch. The Pruta Minakis means that the money is not in the purse. The money is not.
The money will give the tzaddikim. They'll give out the money.
Verkeerd, dat is geen goede plaats.
Jammer zijn op de plaats. Het is jammer niet. Wie is Mashiach? Wie is die meeste Mashiach? Dat is niet zo goed. Jammer Mashiach zijn die nog tzaddikim en hebben alle delen.
I think on a more Davar Hashav Chol Nefesh, I think on a more simple thing, the Ben Ish Chai says this part. He says, doesn't mean you have to be poor. But he says sometimes a person, he doesn't have any free money. Whatever he has to pay another bill, he has to put a down payment for this. He doesn't have, Ashticha Pruta Minakis means he doesn't have any free money to keep in his pocket. He's always, it says, I saw just before I came, I saw that it says that the Zohar says Chavli Mashiach is poverty. And it says even a rich person, he also could be considered poor. Why? Because he's afraid the government will take tax from his money. So I was thinking on my way, Hashayich Pruta Minakis means he's not going to keep the money in the right bank account. He's afraid that the government will track it. So the Pruta won't be in the kiss. He's afraid. He'll be hiding it somewhere else. He's afraid to, he's going to, yes, let me say the Muslim, I'm a Shivan al Adrush. Now, this is now the Alter Rebbe refers to it in Tanya. This Maimer Chazal you have in Tanya in the Rebbe Sichos. Regarding what was mentioned before about giving tzedakah. He said. So you have here in the end of the Geras HaKodesh Yud, the Alter Rebbe is speaking about giving tzedakah without any limit. Like somebody that the Alter Rebbe speaks about, that come give a limit, a fifth, whatever, but the Alter Rebbe says that that would same way for money to heal, there won't be no limit a person will give for money to heal his body. Similarly, there's no limit for money a person will give to heal his soul. And this chesed awakens the Eibishter. There's two types of chesed. The chesed that you do with a limit, that awakens the Eibishter's chesed, which is limited, but then there's the unlimited chesed of the Eibishter. That's what happens. The person gives tzedakah without any limit. So the Alter Rebbe finishes off, Zol Shamra Razal Eni Sol Nigol Ella Bitstaka Sheyasu Gam Yu Yipturim Din. This is what the Chacham said. He won't be redeemed. Only through tzedakah that they will do, even if they'll. What does it mean? It's the Maimer Chazal Eni Sol Nigol Tzedakah. Don't redeem through tzedakah. Now, if you have to give tzedakah, what's the chun? So that will bring Moshiach. It means we'll give tzedakah more than you have to. Ki Ein Ben David Ba Chulun. Says because Moshiach won't come, etc. The Rebbe explains what is Alter Rebbe referring to. Alter Rebbe is referring to this Ma'amer Chazal. Mashiach won't come until money isn't left in the pocket. The Rebbe says, why didn't Alter Rebbe say it? Because he didn't want to spell it out. It's a negative thing. So in other words, Alter Rebbe is saying that, what does this mean? That Mashiach will, the Alter Rebbe says interesting pshat, that the Yidden won't have money in their pocket, nevertheless they'll give tzedakah. Such a type of tzedakah is a tzedakah given in a way of Mesiras Nefesh. So the Alter Rebbe is talking about giving tzedakah, unlimited tzedakah. It simply means ways to give away all your money. But there's another level here. A person Pasha doesn't have money and he gives tzedakah. So that tzedakah brings Mashiach. So this is a vayseis, a shtickle of beer also, a little bit, in the Maimer Chazal itself. What's in the Maimer Chazal? Mashiach won't come until there won't be money. Now that there's no money, is what? You'll give tzedakah despite the fact they don't have money. Now the Rebbe said in the Sikha, it's printed in Shurim Sefer Tanya, the Rebbe said that you don't have to. I'm sorry. In Shurim Sefer Tanya, it's a Sikha. It's a Sikha. I don't know if the Shurim Sefer Tanya is Sikha and Tafshin Chafei somewhere, but the Rebbe says there the Shurim Sefer Tanya definitely says part of it. Said the Rebbe says you could be yotzei this beruchnius. You don't have to have a gashmius. You'll be poor, but it can mean there's a certain bitzel. I guess according just in that Sikha, there's a certain. Going back to the explanation that Tzemach said that the poverty is poil a certain bittul, so you can have that a yid there's a certain bittul that that the same bittul that happens that he has no money. But the Rebbe says in the Sikha, the Rebbe explained it in the Hemshech in the context of the time. The Rebbe says you can use the same thing in the Tzad Simcha. It doesn't have to be you don't have money, but in other words, if you give tzedakah the same way a person will give tzedakah that he doesn't have money, and he gives tzedakah, not only give a stam a little amount, they give a lot of tzedakah, so you don't have to not have the money in order to be able to fulfill this type of giving tzedakah. You could have tzedakah, you can have the money, but you give tzedakah in a zaman oifen from, giving away so much that will equal a person that Posha doesn't have money and he's giving a sheina and a david at tzedakah. That's the word that Rebbe says. So b'choleif, and this is these are the different biurim over here in this Maimer Chazal. Huh? Yeah. So I just want to say one. I just want to finish up. It's also important to keep in mind that even in Pshat, first of all, doesn't have to mean that every Jew has to be in a dire state. It can mean b'chlal, that first of all, Meken Yetzer Zayin doesn't mean that it has to be the second. You suffered in the past. Yeah, Yetzer given. And also, again, the way it seems the Pasha means, I think in simple English it means the economy will be in the red. That's Eich Moshe Nechet Yetzer given. So I'm saying it doesn't have to be that the second, that has to stay until the second of Mashiach. I'm saying it's something, as long as it happened at one point, it's Yetzer given. Fine. Okay, Dikir Zayin, take care from Yad Mam, Shkul Amit, This Vashlem.